Hey guys, what's going on? It's Byron B. Christopher here to give you some exercises that you can do for your arms with resistance bands instead of using weights that will give you that same effectiveness. I'm going to give you 6 different exercises that you'll be able to do, combining these, doing them superset, maximizing your time, maximizing your efforts, and making sure that you can have rock solid results as you are hitting that gym. If you've watched this channel, you've seen that I am in huge favor of resistance bands because if you can't hit the gym, you need to work out at home, you're taking care of your kids, or you've got some home-based business or something else you're taking care of, this will keep you in solid condition so that you can do what you need to do without compromising your lifestyle. So we're going to be starting off with the curl. This will be real similar to your preacher curl, but we're going to be doing this with resistance bands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I get a pretty decent sized band, and I'm going to have that wrapped or attached to a low fixture point. That way then I can get that good stretch so that I can make sure that my muscles are growing the way that I need to. So the bands we're going to be using for this exercise are going to be your heavy band. Most of these exercises are going to require you to use your heavy or your extra heavy band. If you can get to that double XL band, then you're really knocking it out the park. But so with this, we're going to have our heavy band attached to that low fixture point. We're going to start doing our preacher curls. As you're working out your arms, this is going to be your Moses arm workout. It's like in Exodus 17 where Moses had to have his arms raised up for a victory in battle, and he ended up needing help. So Aaron and Hur had to come and lift his arms up. This is going to be one of those things where you want to make sure that you've got your arms in rock solid condition so that you can make sure that you're winning out that battle in life. So let's go ahead and get to it. So I'm going to take this heavy band and I'm going to have it fixed to a low point. So if I'm using my door anchor, I'll attach it to the lowest part of that door, or I'll find a good solid piece that I can have it attached to right here. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to get down. I'm going to squat down and I'm going to make sure that my arms are extended as far as possible. When I do this, I want to make sure that there is tension on the band. So I can do this by either making sure that I have my elbows on top or on the side of my knees. Either way, whichever is more comfortable for you is going to be fine. I like them on the side, and then I'm going to pull for 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you do this, you want to make sure that you're keeping tension on the band the entire time. So as you do this, pay attention. You may have to lean back a little bit, and you'll get a much stronger pull from this. So for this, I'm going to aim for about 10 to 12 reps. Once you hit your 12 reps, move on to that next exercise. So for this one, I'm going to take that exact same band and I'm going to tie it to a high point. And as I have this tied to this high point, it's going to be doubled over the exact same way. And now I'm going to end up doing my tricep pull-downs. You can have your hands inside the bands or at a point that's very comfortable. You're going to start off elbows in, arms bent, then stretch down. So as you're doing this, you want to keep your back straight, make sure your core is always engaged, and as you come down, straight down and out just slightly. You want to make sure that you're getting that full range of motion. You'll have a lot of people that'll cheat themselves and they'll just come down here and they're not getting that full range of motion because you'll notice that their arms aren't bending out all the way. You want to make sure that your arms strengthen and lengthen so that you're getting that deep contraction with your triceps. As you do that, definitely feel that squeeze and definitely feel it on this inner portion of your tricep. So you keep going all the way down till you get to your 12. One of the things that's going to be huge with this is time under tension. So don't rush these exercises. Make sure that you're moving in a controlled motion. As you come down, make sure you're coming back smooth. You don't want to snap back. That's going to be the exact same as you're doing those preacher curls. You don't want your arm to just snap back like the band. You want to make sure that it comes back smooth and gradual. So you'll alternate between those 2 exercises, and you'll do that for 3 to 4 sets. 3 sets if you want to get some good results, 4 sets if you're really trying to maximize that volume, maximize those results. Then you'll move over to your next set. So for this next one, we're going to be doing hammer curls. So I'm going to take the extra heavy band. I'm going to make sure that I have this loop going underneath my feet Feet are probably gonna be about shoulder width apart. And as I do this, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna grab close to where about my knees are at. That way then I can get some good tension. The more tension that you have when you're standing straight up, the harder it's gonna be for you. So make sure that you adjust this to whatever is gonna be your level of difficulty. So as I do this, my hands, my palms are gonna be facing together. Now I'm just gonna come straight up and then down. You wanna make sure as you do this, you're not bent over, but you wanna stand straight. So you're gonna do this for 10 to 12 reps, just like the other 2 sets. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Notice as I'm doing this, I'm still coming down smooth and controlled. The more controlled you're in, the more results you're gonna find. So now let's move over to our next exercise. So for this exercise, we're gonna be doing tricep extensions, going back to using the heavy band. So for this, I'm gonna have this band wrapped underneath my foot. If I'm starting off with my left arm, I'm gonna have this draped underneath my left foot. When I do this, I'm gonna grab onto the band so the palm is facing up. As that palm is facing up, I'm gonna stand straight up, elbows pointed forward, and lift straight up. And I'm gonna do this 10 to 12 reps. So you wanna have a smooth, comfortable range of motion. Try to keep your elbow tucked in. That way then you're really working that extension. The smoother you're gonna be as you do this exercise, the better, and you wanna make sure that you're getting that full range of motion. That way then, as you do this exercise, you are fully engaging that tricep, and you're not compromising and pushing just that shoulder. Because if you start doing something like this, that's working a totally different exercise than keeping your elbow stiff, making sure your arm stays in this position, and the only thing that's pivoting is this joint right here. That's what you want to hit. Do this 10 to 12 times, and you'll really start noticing a huge growth in your tricep area. This is going to be a game changer for you if you can make sure that you keep this proper form. So you're doing 10 to 12 reps for each, and then you'll go back to doing the hammer curls. Knock those out, 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 12 reps each, and then move on to your last set of exercises. So for this exercise, we're gonna drop down a set. So for this last set, your arms should start getting a little spent. So we're gonna drop down to the light band. As we drop down to this light band, believe me, that exercise isn't gonna be light, because we're not just doubling it up, but we're actually gonna be doubling it up for each individual arm. So in essence, even though it's the light band, you basically have 4 of them that are gonna be working against that one singular arm. So as we do this exercise, you're gonna make sure that you have some tension as you step out. Have it fixed to a point that's about level with your shoulder. And then you're going to stand and you're gonna get that curl. As you get this curl, make sure that you bring your arm in as far as possible, bringing your hand as close into your shoulder as you can. And when you do this, you're going to also be feeling it a little bit in your abs, in your obliques. This here is going to be great because it's also working on your balance and engaging your core. So you'll be doing this exercise for about 10 to 12 reps. After you get to your 12th rep, we're going to end up moving over to a very similar exercise except on the opposite end to hit your triceps. So this is where we're going to be doing our tricep kickbacks. Here, you're going to want to have the band tied to a point or attached to a point that's going to be closer towards where about your hip area is going to be. So with this, your hand will go all the way through, and instead of facing up like you would for the biceps, you're going to be facing down for the triceps. Make sure you have some tension before you actually start the actual exercise. before you start that range of motion, get your arm completely squeezed in that engaged position. Palms facing down, elbows tucked in, kick it straight back. As you do this, you'll really start feeling it in your triceps. As I do this, one of the things that helps is I make sure that if I'm doing this with my left arm, my left foot is leaning back and I'm having most of my weight on my right foot. This helps make sure that I have a good solid foundation and I'm able to do this with good form for that 10 to 12 reps. You want to make sure that, again, with this, you're coming back real smooth. If you really want to push this, squeeze and hold at that very end and then come back. Squeeze and hold and then come back, and you'll really start feeling that burn, because the more and the longer that this thing stretches, the more intense that workout is going to be. So when you first start off with this exercise, the weight actually is going to be weaker than when you're at that end for that range of motion. The more stretch, the more resistance you're getting, and that's going to be a huge bonus for you as you're doing this exercise. When you finish with that, you'll go back to the standing curls. You'll do that for 3 to 4 sets, and then that will complete your workout. With that, if you've done 4 sets for each of these 6 exercises, you're talking about 24 different sets that are going to be targeting your arms. You then should be starting to notice a huge difference, and your arms are going to be sore, your arms are going to be feeling it, but in the end, your arms are going to grow that much better. So hey guys, that's going to wrap up this workout for today. Targeted your arms, getting that Moses workout in, and I appreciate you taking the time to do this with me. I'm here as your partner in this, making sure that you stay committed to your fitness journey. As you continue to do this, you're making yourself better and you're making the people around you better. So keep motivating each other, keep things moving forward, and again, stay fit, stay faithful, and I'll catch you on that next one.